We rolling deep across our 10 in the dirty south where the rivers blend from Lake Charles to Baton Rouge. We riding with the Saints under them southern skies. We hustle hard, ain't no time to stop. Drive to the top, it's our time to shine. From NOLA's hard, we redefine the grind. Southwest Louisiana, stand up proud. With every beat, we bring the heat, hear the crowd. From Houston streets to Lafayette, Low McNeese. Right, let the raging cages flow. DJ Dirty South, turn it up loud. Marking our vibes, yeah, we make our proud. Get on the bus, we coming alive. Drive to the top, it's our time to shine. From NOLA's hard, we redefine the grind. Southwest Louisiana, stand up proud.
Well, hello again, everyone, and welcome back to another live edition of On The Go right here on Driving to the Top Productions. It's your boy, Marky Mark, Dirty South. What's up? It's Thursday, August 6, 2026, and let me just tell you, are you happy football's back? I know it's only preseason, but hey, it's back on our TVs from today all the way to Valentine's Day in 2027. We're going to have football every single week from here on till then. Couldn't be more happy, even though it's preseason. But how's everybody doing? Also, big thank you to everyone for all the birthday wishes and whatnot. I had a wonderful birthday Tuesday. I'm in now my Teoscar Hernandez years now. I'm at 37, so we're going to make it a fun one. It's just like I'm going to make a fun one tonight. We're going to do another preview. Before I get to all that, you know what to do. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Find me on X at DirtySouthENT_. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and, of course, Driving to the Top Productions. You can find them all there as well. This episode is presented by Rogue Energy, the official game and drink of On The Go, and by POGGERS, the official vitamin supplement of On The Go. Pick your poison. Like I say every week, the promo code gets you 10% off. Promo code is OTG, whether you go to poggers.shop or rogueenergy.com or download that on any mobile device. That's the promo code right there. Well, it is August 6th, and I'm almost at the finish line with football previews. And tonight, I'm doing my second and final NFL team, and then we'll have one more to go. So now we have officially jumped into 504 for this preview tour, and I'm rocking a brand new Travis Etienne Saints jersey for this one. I've been waiting to show it off for you all, and I'm finally wearing it for the first time. I mean, trying it on don't count. I'm actually this is the first time I'm wearing it more than an hour. So, yeah, it's going to be a fun one. What's going on, Dylan? Hope you're enjoying your vacation in Biloxi. Be sure to check out World Elite Podcast. Say the name. Check them out every week. Before we go any further, let's just start this off in H-Town. I got a little Texans camp preview to talk about. Do some Astros talk, Dynamo talk. So before we get to the Saints previewing and whatnot, let's go to the 713 and kick this off at the Shell. Let's do some Dynamo talk. You know what? No. Let's start this at Dyke Park. Let's do Astros talk first. Then we'll work our way to the football stuff. So let's do it right now. Let's go to H-Town, folks. We're going to kick this off at the Ice Box, and we're going to do some Astros talk to start this show. And despite the Astros only lost their second series since the second half started after the All-Star break, I still think they're doing fantastic because this past weekend, they proved their point for the Lone Star State. They swept the Texas Rangers to keep the Silver Boot in H-Town. They're not playing no more times the rest of the season. This was the last time this season we got this series. And the Astros keep the Silver Boot in H-Town. Dominant performance over the Texas Rangers. Go back to Friday night. They beat the hell out of them 11-2. Saturday, they won in a close one 5-4. And then they beat their ass again 7-3 on Sunday. I got to give it to Peter Lambert. He had the most outstanding weekend performance in the Lone Star Series. In his start on I think it was Sunday he started. He only allowed 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 errors, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts. His ERA was 3.06. Best ERA I've seen so far this season. And 83 pitches. He threw 46 strikeouts on 83 pitches in that one. Now, this past week, they did lose the series to the Toronto Blue Jays. I put freaking Maple Leafs in the notes here. It just shows how off I was. Well, the good news was they won on my birthday. They won game 2 7-2, but they did drop game 1 3-1 and game 3 5-4. But now that puts the Houston Astros at 59 and 57 overall. But the good news is they're now in first place in the AL West. After they swept the Rangers, they're back on top in the AL West. And I know a lot of people are not happy about it. They're 5th in the American League right now, and they're 12th overall in Major League Baseball. And still across the board, Yordan Alvarez on the batting side still leads in everything. He leads in batting average, .329, 35 home runs, 85 RBIs. His OBP for the season is .442 and 136 total hits for Yordan. Meanwhile, on the pitching side, still the same names. Peter Lambert leads the season with 8 wins and 108 strikeouts this season. The most strikeouts thrown by any pitchers for the Astros. Josh Hader leads with 18 saves, and Stephen Okert still leads. Let's say 18, it's 15 saves and 15 holds for Stephen Okert. Well, they got a big weekend coming up. They head out west. They go to Southern Cal. They'll take on the San Diego Padres. Friday's matchup, Ronel Blanco has been announced to be the starting pitcher, and he'll pitch against Robbie Ray. This will be Ronel Blanco's second start. He's 0-1. His ERA, though, pretty high. They'll have to fix that, 7.36. But the one time he started, he only allowed 11 hits, 16 strikeouts, 8 walks, and 5 home runs. Saturday, it'll be Peter Lambert starting against Michael King of the Padres. He's 8-5 as a starter, but his 3.06 is his ERA right now. 82 hits, 108 strikeouts, 41 walks, and 11 home runs. I'm hoping to see if I can get an update because while watching the Hall of Fame game, I just found out that their Sunday game with the Padres will be live Sunday Night Baseball, prime time on NBC and Peacock. So I want to see if they got an update on that, since that will be a prime time game on NBC. They still haven't announced the lineup yet. They need to hurry up. You're going to make this a prime time game for the entire country to watch. You'd think you'd have your starting pitcher for both teams already announced. But then following that, next Monday through Wednesday, August 10th through the 12th, they head up to the Bay Area to play the San Francisco Giants. So next 2 series, they're going to be in Cali. We know the Giants have not fully decided their starting 3 for Monday and Wednesday. They just announced Tuesdays, but the Astros are ready to go with the Giants. They're going to have Christian Javier start on Monday, where he's 1-2 as a starter with his ERA at 6.59. It's pretty high. They'll have to fix that. But so far this season as a starter, he only allowed 31 hits, 23 strikeouts, 15 walks, and 4 home runs. Hayden Wazinski, who started on my birthday, will start again Tuesday, August 11th against Carson Weisenhunt of the Giants. Hayden Wazinski is 2-0, undefeated as a starter with his ERA at 3.86. Probably one of the second best pitcher right now behind Hunter Brown. So far, only allowed 11 hits, 8 strikeouts, and 4 walks, and no home runs. That's a key number there. He ain't allowed a home run yet as a starter. And then Hunter Brown, our ace, will start on Wednesday. He's 3-1 as a starter with his ERA at 3.53. Only allowed 41 hits. He threw 63 strikeouts and only allowed 32 walks and 7 home runs. So it's like if I had to rank our top 3 pitchers of where we are right now, no question, it's Hunter Brown, Hayden Wazinski, and Peter Lambert right there. That's your top 3. Hunter Brown might have the best Peter Lambert actually got the best ERA right now. And he threw the most strikeouts. But Hayden Wazinski's undefeated. Plus, he's never threw a home run, never allowed a home run. But then you got our ace. I feel like if he wouldn't have got hurt, he'd probably be the number 1 pitcher right now on the team. But I'd put him like at 2. Peter Lambert probably be on top with Hunter Brown, then Hayden Wazinski. That's how I'd rank the top 3 pitchers for the Astros right now. So that's what we got for the next coming days. That's probably the quickest I ever talked. The Houston Astros. I kind of got that out of the way. Now that I'm kind of in that football mode right now, especially when we get the real stuff started, I might not talk much Astros. I mean, I'm still going to keep talking to them on the show, but I'm not going to take much of the time to talk baseball, especially when they got about a month and a half of regular season left to go. And then if they do make the postseason, or if they do make it, how far will they go? So we're going to keep the H-Town talk going. Let's take it from the icebox to the shell. Let's go ahead and jump to the shell and talk some Dynamo. Let's go to some Dynamo talk now. All right, now this is some Dynamo talk, and how long has it been since I've ever said the Houston Dynamo has a win streak right now? Since the second half started, they've played 3 matchups, haven't lost the matchup yet. They're 2-0. Well, they've won 2 out of 3. 1-2, 1 ended in a draw, but never lost. So that's a good sign. Well, this past weekend, they took on Kansas City, or if you want to call them by their club name, Sporting Kansas or Sporting KC. They beat them 2-0. Now puts the Dynamo at 9 wins, 2 draws, and 6 losses. Moving on up in the rankings. They're 4th in the Western Conference right now. In their last matchup, 64% possession, 4 shots on goal, 6 corners, 1, 4 attempts in the box, 2 attempts out the box, 3 big chances created and missed. They had 4 through balls, 18 touches in the opposition box, 1 foul in the final third, 4 saves, 1 goal kick, 6 shots faced, 6 tackles, 9 interceptions, 11 clearances, 47 recoveries, 37 duels won out of 68, 10 aerials won, 660 accurate passes out of 718, 329 total back zone passes, 401 total forward zone passes, 39 accurate long balls, 5 accurate crosses, 12 total throws, 12 fouls committed, 1 offside, and 1 yellow card against Kansas City. Let's start with one of our main guys, Gilliherm, who scored the first goal in 55 minutes of play. Hit a right-footed shot from the outside of the box to the bottom right corner, assisted by our guy, Jack McGlynn, following a fast break. And the second goal came in 71 minutes of play when Augustin Bozat hit a left-footed shot from the center of the box to the bottom right corner. Puts them up at 2-0. So hell of a start of the second half for the Houston Dynamo. And what I think what's crazy is this weekend they're playing the New England Revolution, the only MLS matchup playing this week. I wonder why. Like, they just started back up after the long FIFA break, but this is the only matchup we have this weekend. No other matchups, not even a matchup on August 9th. But when we get to the next coming Saturday and weekend, it's a whole stacked weekend of MLS matchups. So Dynamo and the Revolution, the only team matchup playing this Saturday if you want to watch a little MLS. I know it's in Foxborough. It's at Gillette. Be sure to check it out. And then after that, the Dynamo do return home on August 15th against the LA Galaxy, their first home game since that ass whooping they gave Austin FC 2 weeks ago. So nice to see them back at the show anytime soon. Well, tops are nothing changed when it comes to the statistics. Our top scorer still is Gilly Herm. He's scored 10 goals this season with Mateus Bogus second place at 4. Lawrence Anali in third with 3 goals. Hector Herrera and Jack McGlynn tied at 4th with 2 goals this season. Our top assist, of course, is also Gilly Herm. So he's across the board as the top scorer and the top assists. He leads with 7 assists so far this season with Jack McGlynn, who's now dropped to second place with 5 assists, and Lawrence Anali and Augustin Bozat tied at 3rd with 2 assists. When it comes to, let's see, performances, nothing's really changed. This is kind of the same here. The most goals they've ever scored in a game was against Portland back in March. That still stands. That's at home. The most scores they've ever scored on the road was against LAFC back on May 10th. The most goals they conceded at home was 2, but the most they've ever conceded on the road was 6. That was against Colorado back in April. The largest winning margin, they've won by 3 against LAFC back in May, and the largest losing margin they ever had was losing by 4 against Colorado back in April. So that's your numbers for the Houston Dynamo. And that's all the Dynamo talk I have for right about now. So one more thing I got H-Town related, and then we'll go ahead and jump to the 337. I will give you guys an update on the Houston Texans training camp from this week. I'm not going to go too far back from the last time. I think I'm gonna just go back to Monday on August 3rd. So here's an update. And then I'll tell you what the Texans got coming up when they go into preseason next week. Actually, I didn't even start following the teams yet on the app. All right, here's a little update on the Houston Texans. Just what happened the last couple days. Go back to Monday, August 3rd. It was their first day in full pads. And a good day for the Texans defense when C.J. Stroud was forced to hold the ball longer than he would like as secondary coverage was stout. So it must have been a good day for the defensive backs. But C.J. Stroud, he occasionally scrambled more than usual to buy time to make throws, and the defensive line forced a few sacks, and Kalen Bullock made an interception. So I said it was a good day for the DBs. Also, D'Amico Ryan used exotic blitz throughout the day, and the offense sometimes had answers, and the other times they didn't. But D'Amico Ryan deemed the first day in full pads as successful and a very big successful day for the Texans defense. A couple other observations here. First-round pick Keelan Rutledge is adding an extra juice of aggression to the unit, and he got into a mini tussle with defensive end Danielle Hunter after a successful run play by Woody Marks. When you try to make an impact to be one of your starting offensive line, I mean, you're going to have a little tussle and whatnot. I mean, those didn't get super superior. Nothing worse than that. Let's see what happened on my birthday, August the 4th. Jaden Higgins started to blossom as he was entering his second year with the Texans. Nico Collins was asked about Higgins' progression, and he said, and I quote, "He's hooping right now, and I can't wait to see him rock out when it really matters." During their practice, Higgins made multiple catches with all-pro quarterback and LSU Tiger Derek Stingley Jr. in coverage. One of the receptions occurred during the team's third down period for a 20-yard gain. The other one was during one-on-ones where Stingley tried to aggressively jam Higgins, but he avoided the powerful jab and broke free for an easy toss from C.J. Stroud. But earlier in camp, C.J. Stroud said he expected Higgins to have a dominant year too, and so far they're starting to see it. I think he could be an impact player. I had him as an impact player when I did the Texans preview, and according to training camp, I made a good call making Jaden Higgins an impact player. Let's see what else happened. Also, Aziz Al-Shahir, who also shares a birthday with me, actually didn't have a good birthday, you could say. He was slow to get up after a collision with Dalton Schultz, but no superior injury. He probably just got the wind knocked out of him. Not a way you want to celebrate your birthday. Damn near getting a concussion. Well, good thing he's fine. here's what happened yesterday with the Texans. Tank Dell made his return to the practice field while participating in limited capacity. It marked the first time he engaged in any sort of team-padded practice since Week 16 of the 2024 season after he suffered multiple torn ligaments and a dislocated kneecap against the Kansas City Chiefs. He did catch a few passes from C.J. Stroud during individual drills and ran full speed routes. Tank Dell didn't do much more after that. But this is a step in the right direction for him. I mean, even D'Amico Ryans won't rush Dell back and said Tank is on the right plan. I think the goal is to have him ready for team 11-on-11 contact reps. He still does have a way to go, but this is a positive progress for him, making a return after being out that long. So I hope for the very best of him. Tank Dell can make an impact. But Jaden Higgins did continue to flash throughout practice. He made another impressive catch with Stingley in coverage. It was tightly a contested catch, but that's always a positive because it's against an all-pro corner like Derek Stingley Jr. Don't get no better than from an LSU boy like that. Let's see. That's about all I got. No news updates for today yet. Now, I doubt unless they had an off day today. But that's all the updates I have from the Texans training camp. And I'll give you guys a more update into next week as well. But until then, let me jump straight to the 337 real quick. I got a little shout out I want to give. Shouldn't take but nothing but a second. I have nothing to talk LSU related in the 225 except they're doing their fall camp right now with Lane Kiffin and company. Ed Ogeron made his return to LSU practices like it seems like 2019 all over again. But after I give a little shout out, then we're going to jump all the way to the 504 and we're going to do a Saints training camp update. And then we'll continue on and do the preview with the New Orleans Saints. It's coming. But until then, let's get back on the bus. I got to go run to the 337 and give a big shout out real fast. So let's go. I didn't want to play it. I like to have a good time. No, I'm coming past through the 337. I got to give a big shout out real quick. What a historic season. I know it didn't end the way we wanted, but I got to give a big shout out to the Lake Charles Gumbo Gators. In just your third season as a collegiate baseball, wooden bat baseball team, you made it to the championship game this past Saturday, winning the playoffs against the Cane Cutters, sweeping the Cane Cutters to go to your first TCL championship. Unfortunately, it didn't end the way we wanted. This one went to the Victoria Generals. They won the game 14-4, but I took my hat off. I said, this is a historic season. I'm not upset at the way the outcome came. It would have been nice if they would have won that, but I had a feeling, because Victoria is a dangerous team. But congrats to the Lake Charles Gumbo Gators. In just their third season, they made it to the championship, came up short, finished as a runner-up. And that's just going to motivate you when we get to summer baseball in 2027. I'm already looking, as much as I'm so glad we're finally in the football fever right now. But when that baseball fever comes again in 2027, I'll be ready for some summer baseball again and see if the Gumbo Gators can not only make another playoff appearance, but make another run to the championship. And if we're lucky enough, they can even host it. They were this close hosting it. If the Brazos Valley Bombers would have upsetted the Generals, the game would have been played at the show. Then we'd have had a higher chance of winning. But didn't go that way. It went to Victoria. They made the trip there. I heard a lot of Gator fans make the trip to Victoria to see them play for a championship, but they came up short. So take my hat off to them on a successful season. Keep your heads up. They'll be back in the near future. I can see it now. Next season will be fun too. So even though I didn't go to many games this year, like I said I was gonna, I've only did two. Only went to 2 games. I should have went to more, but it was just so fucking hot, man. It's so hot and then smelling like crap. When I'm going straight to the ballpark from work and I smell like a divorced dad's dick, I don't want to smell like that. I want to smell fresh. But I'm gonna look forward. I'm gonna try and go to some more games next year. It'll be a fun one. And it was fun for the second year in a row talking the Gumbo Gators on this show. I kind of did more talk on them with statistics and weekly stuff. who knows? Maybe I might be involved in some other stuff. I was given a pitch, an idea of coming with a group of guys and create like a little podcast or talk show to talk Gumbo Gators throughout the week on Mondays, when Monday is the off day for the entire Texas Collegiate League. So who knows? I might pitch that back up and be like, hey, I'm down for that. We can make it happen. But I'm going to still do the Gumbo Gator talk on this show. But hats off to them. Fun season to watch. Can't wait to do it again. Well, you guys ready? We're going to pass the 225 straight ahead. Let's go straight to the 504 and talk these New Orleans Saints, do a training camp update, and then we'll officially do this preview for the remainder of the show. So let's go, baby. Y'all ready? All right, let's talk some New Orleans Saints. But first, let's do a training camp update. Let's see what we can talk about that happened this week. Let's go. Let's see what happened on Monday here real quick. So the Saints offense bounced back in its team's first day in full pads. So also they went full pads first day. It was a run-focused day featuring some usage of 12 and 13 personnel. Tyler Shuck in the offensive unit had a solid end to practice when he completed a pass to Alvin Kamara, hit Travis Achan near the sideline, and connected again with Achan, who found running room thanks to the hole opened by Eric McCoy. So, hey, his first taste in the black and gold, I like it. It seems like we're going to – and with Kamara back, I mean, that running back room, Alvin Kamara, Travis Achan, Kendre Miller, who's also coming back from an injury, Devin Neal, that's going to be a lead running back room there. Also, Tyler Shuck had a few completions with Jordan Tyson and Jawan Johnson. But also, rookie wideout, I got to give a shout-out to LSU's own Barry Brown. Had what might have been the play of the day, catching a deep pass down the sideline from Spencer Rattler while going against Martin Emerson Jr. So I remember when shout-out to Locked On Saints. Shout-out to Ross Jackson. He was preaching Barry Brown on Tuesday. And this was a prime example why. So great to hear that. Let's see. Here's some more observations from Monday's practice. Charlie Smith made 5 of 6 field goal attempts. He did miss his first kick of camp from a wide right from 55 yards, but he did kick a 44-yarder again after he missed and made it. Quincy Riley and Isaac Yiadom substituted in with the first team and outside cornerback, but Danny Stutzman also got first-team reps. The Saints practiced one-on-one individual drills for the first time, and Tyson did not participate in those to limit his overall reps for the day, but Bub Memes had a few solid reps. Cesar Ruiz had another excuse absence after the recent birth of his child, so congratulations to him. And head coach Kellen Moore did not say whether the Saints planned to bring in another receiver after the unexpected retirement of Jalen Polk. So that one kind of came out of nowhere when I heard about that. So enjoy that retirement. Let's see what happened on my birthday with the New Orleans Saints. Well, actually, no, they had an off day on my birthday. So no practice on Tuesday. They did return to practice yesterday, and Marion Brown seemed to find his stride since the pads came on. He has taken advantage of the one-on-one drills versus defensive backs and made several nice catches during the period. He also had a 36-yard catch and run from Spencer Rattler over Jordan Howden in the 2-minute drill to end practice, and that play helped the Saints get into field goal range. So, like I said, Barry Brown, man, could be an impact player. You saw the wink there. He was the third receiver the Saints drafted this year, and he came in with potential to make the team as a kick returner, but Kellen Moore said they saw more than that when they drafted him. Remember, he started his career at Kentucky, then transferred to LSU. He only played one season with LSU. We'll talk more about that. A couple more observations for the Saints on Wednesday. Cesar Ruiz was back at practice following the birth of his son, which he described as the best experience of his life. Kendre Miller is dealing with a back issue that kept him limited in the past 2 practices, but Christian Miller had a toe issue. Jeremiah White left with a shoulder alignment, so we had a few injuries that yesterday. But the Saints worked a 2-minute drill to end the practice. The scenario was that the offense was down 3 with less than 2 minutes and 1 timeout. Both the first and second team offenses kicked the field goal to tie it. But Tanner Brown made 5 of 6 field goals with a miss from 39 yards. But he also kicked the 2-minute field goals. Charlie Smith is now 15 for 16 in camp, and Brown is 17 for 19. Caden Ellis, we were so glad to see back in the black and gold. He was used as a pass rusher a little bit, but worked in one-on-one drills against the offensive line. The drill is usually O-line versus D-line, but Kellen Moore said Ellis wanted to do the drill to get more reps, so hats off to him for that. And then from today's practice, let's see if we got what we hear. Barry Brown continuing to be the rising star of camp after he concluded Thursday's practice with a 46-yard touchdown from Spencer Rattler to finish out the 2-minute drill. Man, I got to tell you what. I want to see him as a starter now, but I want to see what he can do in preseason. I mean, let him play like a game or two. I know they have their first preseason game next week with the Jacksonville Jaguars when they have a joint practice with them. Let's see what the kid can do, man, because, I mean, the way he's doing this, we got to put him on the field with Jordan Tyson and Chris Olave and all them. Make that offense irrelevant, man. But Brown has mostly been with the second team to start camp. He's starting to get more opportunities, including some snaps with the first team in the 2-minute drills, where he did catch a pass for Tyler Shuck for a 15-yard gain. A couple other observations. We did have a couple other injuries. Chris Rump had an ankle issue. Devin Neal with a hamstring. Both did not finish practice. Christian Miller with a toe injury. Jeremy Wright with a shoulder injury. And Kendry Miller with a back issue are day-to-day but did not participate today. Alvin Kamara wasn't at practice today, but he had a rest day, so no injury for him. That's a good sign. But Charlie Smith had a rough day, went 3 for 6 and missed 3 straight field goals in the indoor facility. He missed from 39, 45, and 51 yards, so the team backed things up to 39 yards again. When he made that, they attempted another 51-yarder. It was good. So he's now 17 of 22 for training camp. Also, the first team 2-minute drills were won by the defense after a sack, courtesy of Cameron Jordan, and an interception from Quincy Riley. The offense was moving the ball well prior to that, but Tyler Shuck was completing 2 passes to Jawan Johnson and Travis Etienne, but Chris Olave and Barry Brown before spiking the ball to stop the clock. But also Tyler Shuck was picked off by Kool-Aid McKinstry in the previous set of team drills in the end zone. Moore said it did look like a pass came up short in the throwaway situation, but Travis Etienne had the ball 4 plays in a row prior to the interception. So it's kind of like the defense knew what Tyler Shuck was going to do. But, I mean, at least if it's for our starting defense, I mean, it's going to make our defense look kick-ass. But, I mean, it's not in a real situation. I mean, not every quarterback's going to have an outstanding days of camp. I mean, Tyler's going to have his good days and his bad days. I mean, I really wouldn't consider this a bad day, having just 1 pick at a practice. You know, things are going to happen. But that's all the updates I got for training camp for the New Orleans Saints. So with that being said, I mean, you guys ready to now do this preview? I sure am. So let's rewind back to Kellen Moore's first season as head coach. Not the season. I mean, yeah, lately the last few seasons we've had some downfalls, but last season was one of those. 6-11 record in 2025. Finished dead last in the NFC South. Didn't even make the playoffs. But this was where they made a lot of changes in the coaching staff last year. You know, we had a new head coach in Kellen Moore. We had a new offensive coordinator in Doug Nussmeier, new defensive coordinator in Brandon Staley, new special teams coordinator in Phil Galliano, new QB coach Scott Tolzien, new running backs coach in Joel Thomas, new wide receiver coach in Kyle Valero, new tight ends coach in Chase Haslett, new offensive line coach Brendan Nugent, if I said his name right, new assistant offensive line coach in Jari Evans, The list goes on. New senior offensive assistant Scott Linehan, Tobijah Hewley as offensive assistant, Terry Joseph as defensive pass game coordinator, Bo Davis as D-line coach, Brian Young as an assistant, Jay Rogers as an edges coach, Peter Sermon as a linebacker coach, Adam Gerstick as the assistant linebacker coach, Grady Brown as the defensive backs coach, Robert Blanton as defensive back coach, and Kyle Walber as an assistant special teams coordinator. That was all the coaching changes we had in 2025. So it was a rebuild season last year. And we'll throw this in there before I do like any impact players. If Tyler Shuck would have played since week 1, I mean, he was our rookie of the year for the team. The big question was, would he got rookie of the year of the season, of the league, if he'd have started every single week? Because remember, they did start the first few weeks with Spencer Rattler. Then it did not really go his way. And then when Tyler Shuck got there, it kind of turned around. We started winning games we were supposed to win, even though I'll bring his numbers up when we get to this one. But going into 2026, the only coaching change we're going to have is offensive assistant Tobijah Hewley. He's going to have another help in former Saints offensive lineman Will Clapp. He's going to be helping as an assistant. We do have a spot open as an assistant offensive line coach. Jari Evans did have that position, but now it's vacant. So no one really has that going on right now. A couple of let's see what else we got here. When it comes to signings, of course, we picked up a few names, including the hottest free agent running back. I'm repping him right now, Travis Etienne of the Jacksonville Jaguars, 4-year deal for $52 million. Also that was on March 11th. Also that same day, we picked up Ryan Wright of the Vikings for $14 million, David Edwards of the Buffalo Bills for $61 million, Noah Fant from the Cincinnati Bengals for 2 years at $8.75 million, and Caden Ellis making his return as a Saint, coming from the Falcons, at signing a 3-year deal for $33 million. Later in the offseason, we ended up picking up running back Ty Chandler of the Vikings for a 1-year contract, $1.2 million. Zach Wilson at quarterback from the Dolphins for 1 year, $1.4 million. Anthony Jennings at linebacker from the Patriots for 1 year at $1.4 million as well. And cornerback Martin Emerson of the Cleveland Browns for $1.5 million as well. The only trades we ever did during the offseason, we did trade a 6th-round selection for 2028 to the Houston Texans while picking up Kai Kroger in a 7th-round selection in 2028. Also, we traded Tyree Wilson and their 7th-round selection to the Las Vegas Raiders for a 5th-round selection in 2026. When it came to the draft, probably the biggest draft we got was Jordan Tyson at wide receiver. We also got Christian Miller from Georgia, Oscar Delp from Georgia as well, defensive tackle and tight end. Jeremiah Wright from Auburn at guard, Bryce Lane at wide receiver from North Dakota State, Lorenzo Styles at safety from Ohio State, Barian Brown from LSU at wide receiver, and TJ Hall at cornerback from Iowa. That's how the draft went for the New Orleans Saints. A couple of undrafted free agents they ended up picking up. I'm not going to run down the list. I'm going to just name a few people I know, like C.J. Donaldson from Ohio State, Alan Haran of Maryland, Rex Steiner from Jacksonville State, Scott Steiner, all you wrestling fans, Big Papa Pump, Freaksilla, the big bad booty daddy, that's his son, and just announced he's got a 6-game suspension. What the fuck did he do? Somebody throw some Steiner math right there. I need to know what the hell did he do. Also, Mason Shipley, a kicker from Texas, and Javar Suggs from Wisconsin, a defensive tackle, or a couple other undrafted free agents they picked up during the offseason. I still want to know what the hell did he do. All right, couple impact players I got to bring up. You've heard me say some of these names, and we're going to do it again. I'm going to start with our QB, man, Tyler Shuck. I still said if he would have played the entire season last year, he would have been the rookie of the year in the league. He had, in just one season with the Saints, he had over 2,300 passing yards. The actual number is 2,384. He did have 10 touchdowns, 186 rushing yards on 45 carries and 3 rushing touchdowns. He did throw 6 interceptions, but the number that gets me in his rookie season, he'd been sacked 31 times. That's horrible. That just shows how much protection we need for this kid. Even though we didn't draft a lot of offensive linemen, this O-line needs to step the fuck up. We cannot lose Tyler Shuck. Like, he's been getting so much potential. He's basically our new face. He may not be Drew Brees, but they're going to treat him like Drew Brees if they use him right. Alvin Kamara, who announced he is coming back for at least one more season, didn't have the season he wanted in 2025. Only 471 total rushing yards, 131 carries, only 1 rushing touchdown, and 186 total receiving yards and 33 catches. I'm hoping he can have a better 2026 because in his career, he's having a good career in the black and gold. Over 7,000 total rushing yards, 61 touchdowns, nearly 5,000 total receiving yards as a Saint and 25 receiving touchdowns. We need to boost his numbers up a little more if this will be his final year as a Saint. But bringing in Travis Etienne, shout out Jennings, Louisiana, Jennings Bulldogs, the former Clemson Tiger, and Jacksonville Jaguar. In his last season with Jacksonville, he had over 1,000 total rushing yards on 260 carries, 7 rushing touchdowns. He was only 8 yards away from 300 total receiving yards in 2025 with 6 receiving touchdowns. But in his career, he's on the verge of having 4,000 total rushing yards. He now sits at 3,798. I guarantee you by halfway through the season, Travis will hit 4,000 career yards. He's had 61 rushing touchdowns in his career. He's now at 4,948 total receiving yards. So he might have another, I wouldn't call it a record, but he's going to have another impactful career as a Saint. And 25 receiving touchdowns in his career. I guarantee you by the end of the season, he will be at 8,000 total career rushing yards and 5,000 total career receiving yards. Wearing that number 3, wearing Bobby Hebert's old number. We might be looking at our offensive player. Could be our offensive player of the year for the Saints. But let's not just talk about the veterans here and the new faces we got that's been in the league for quite a while. Let's talk about some of these guys we just drafted. Let's start with Jordan Tyson. I think if Jordan Tyson can stay healthy, he could be an impactful player, could be a potential rookie of the year for the Saints. It's going to be out of him and Barry and Brown. I mean, last season, not the season he wanted with Arizona State in his final year. He only had 711 total receiving yards on 61 receptions and 8 touchdowns. But his rookie season, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if this could be his same numbers. He'd be close to 1,000 or he can get to over 1,000 receiving yards in his rookie season. I could see him at least with 10 touchdowns. Where Barry and Brown, in his 1 year with LSU, 32 total receiving yards, 53 total catches and 1 touchdown. He can make some if he can improve in he's already improving in training camp. If he can improve in preseason, whether if it's 1 or 2 games, we could see him get some playing time and some reps on Sundays in the regular season. And I got my fingers crossed we can have them. Imagine him, Jordan Tyson, and Chris Olave on the field together. Woo! Oh, baby. On the defensive side, I got 3 impact players I got to throw here. We got to start with our edge rusher, Chase Young. Last season, 38 total tackles, 22 solo, 16 assists, 10 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and 3 fumble recoveries. I think let's put him at nearly 100 total tackles. I could see it happening. That's another one. If he could stay healthy, his numbers can go up. I think I could see him up to 40 solo. He's going to have a much of assists. He had an outstanding 10 sacks. I think I could see him with 10 sacks again in this season. Tyree Wilson, I think, could be the most improved linebacker for the Saints defense. 35 total tackles last year, 25 solo, 10 assists, 4 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and 1 fumble recovery. I think Tyree Wilson's going to be a hell of a linebacker this season. Let's put him at around 50 total tackles. He's at 35. I think he can get up to 50. Let's give him 8 sacks. He's had 4. Let's double that. Let's see if he can get up to 8. And then the cool man with the best name out there in the defensive backfield, Kool-Aid McKinstry, my impact player for a DB. Last season, 76 total tackles, 59 solo, 17 assists, 3 interceptions. I think he could get to 100 total tackles. I think he could get to 70 solo, maybe about 30 assists. He's had 3 interceptions last year. Let's double that. Let's shoot for 6. Let's get a pick 6 from Kool-Aid, shall we? I think we can see it happen. That's my impact players for the New Orleans Saints. I'm gonna go step out real quick. Don't go anywhere. Give me about 30 seconds. I gotta get a sheet whenever we do our when I do my schedule preview. I can see what we win and lose. So don't go anywhere. Give me about 15 to 25 seconds, and I. All right. Sorry for the wait. I had to go to the bathroom, and I needed a water, and I got what I needed for this talk. Hang on. Let me get some. All right. Where are we at? What we talking next? I already did my impact. Oh, okay. I know where we're at right now. We're gonna look at some uniform. We're gonna look at some swag real quick before I do the schedule previews and whatnot. Y'all can hear me good? All right. So this is our uniform swags for the upcoming season. Nothing's really changing except, they brought the gold uniforms back, which people have hated on. But here's some of your combos you're going to see. You start from the top. You got your traditional look for home and road games. The gold jerseys, like I said, we've only seen them in 2 different combos. They debuted them last season. Black helmets, gold jersey, black pants. Could see that again. Or at the bottom, when I went to that Jets game, they did the gold pants with the gold jersey and the black helmet. Loved it. Least favorite combo is that one on the top, far left, gold helmet, white jersey, black pants. I am not a fan of that combo. Another one I don't see up here is the gold jersey, white pant combo. Not really a fan of that either, but that all white out with the white, the color rush with the white helmet, we're going to see that again. And then when it comes to black on black, whether if it's the gold helmet or the black helmet, you're definitely going to see that a lot, especially with that gold helmet. But, man, I loved it with the black helmet. The all blackout look was sick and badass. What's your favorite combos? I mean, I want to see less of – when it comes to being on the road, I want to see less of white jersey, black pants. I'd rather white on gold, or if you do the color rush all white out. I want to see more of that too. With the black jerseys, I want to see more of the traditional look with the gold pants. That we might see a lot of black on black, but I mean, if you're going to do the black on black, you got to at least do it with the black helmet at least twice. I mean, yeah, we might see it a few times with the gold helmet, and if you bring the gold jerseys back, I mean, do them both. If you're only going to bring them back twice. Do one of each. Do one game with the black pants. Do another game with the gold. The one with the gold surprised me because I was expecting them to wear the black pants with it. when I went to that Jets game. Nah, they wore the gold, and it looked pretty awesome. Saying something different. Well, we got a comment. Shouts to Kobe. Hang on, let me get the picture off, and I'll or you know what? I'm gonna just pop it up. Okay, when you said black on black, you like it with the black helmet or the gold helmet the most? Because when we saw that all blackout look, that was fucking dope. Who did they wear that against too, by the way? Was it the I don't even remember. I know they debuted the gold jersey. They brought the gold jerseys against the Falcons with the black helmet and black pants, and then they wore the gold for their last home game with the Jets because I was at the Jets game. They did the color rush whiteout with the helmet. I know they did it against the Seahawks, and I don't think they ever done it again last season. But yeah, he said black on gold as well, that traditional look. I mean, I'd like to see more of that traditional look too. But let's preview, or let's predict this schedule. By the way, I'm not going to predict preseason, but you see the preseason schedule at the top. They are going to host the Jacksonville Jaguars on August 15th, their only home preseason game, and then August 22nd they go to LA to play the Rams, and then they haven't announced the final date yet against the Dallas Cowboys, but it's in Arlington. By the way, I didn't give you the Houston Texans preseason matchups real quick, but I'm going to throw those down. Thursday, August 13th, they host the Chargers. Week 2, Thursday, August 20th, they host the Raiders. And then week 3, Friday, they go to Carolina, August 28th against the Panthers. So that's theirs. All right, so week 1, first 2 games of the season, they're on the road. Week 1, they go to Detroit to play Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions. A lot of people believe they might lose this game. I would not like for them to lose this, but the way the Lions have been playing the last few years, they've been good. If this would have been a game in the Dome, I'd pick the Saints to win, but maybe this could be a wake-up call for them. And I think it could be the start for them to have a more successful season. So I'll tell you what, I'll give them a loss. I don't usually do this, but I'll give the Saints a week 1 loss to the Lions. But when they get to week 2 against the Ravens, that's a win. Week 2, they're in Baltimore taking on the Ravens. I'm going with the Saints on there. Week 3 will be their home opener against the Raiders. So they're taking on newly quarterback Fernando Mendoza. They're taking on with Ashton Genie as well. John Gruden's going to be in the house. And I will be at this game. I want to be at Travis's home debut game as a Saint in the Dome. So, and this will be a win too. So I got them beating the Raiders, and they'll have a good start at 2-1. All eyes are going to be on week 4 because not only it's the rivalry game with the Atlanta Falcons, it's Monday Night Football. It's one of only 2 primetime games this season for the Saints. And it's the 20-year – actually, make it 3 if you want to count the oh, no, it is 2 if you count the Paris game. Week 4 is going to be a special game because it's the 20-year anniversary of the rebirth. You remember after Hurricane Katrina, their first game back in the Dome, they played the Atlanta Falcons, and the block punt from Steve Gleason that the whole world saw. Such an iconic moment for the New Orleans Saints and the city. They made a statue of that outside the Dome. 20 years later, it's Monday Night Football. They're playing that exact same team. They're playing their most heated rival, the Atlanta Falcons. It's going to be a good night to be a Saint. It's going to be a good night to rep the black and gold. It's going to be a good night to be from the state of Louisiana. It's going to feel like 2006 all over again with this one, and they're going to beat the Atlanta Falcons at home. So I'll have them winning 3 in a row there. Week 5, they're back at home again. They will host the Minnesota Vikings. This one, do the Vikings even still have a quarterback? You know, I'm not even worried about the Vikings. I'll give them a win there. Give me a win over the Vikings. So now I'll have them winning 4 in a row. Week 6, they go to MetLife. They go play the New York Giants. Now with new head coach John Harbaugh, leaving Baltimore, going to the Giants. I don't know, man. Maybe they can beat them. I don't know. Maybe they can't. But I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. I'll say they'll probably drop the Giants. I might be crazy thinking that, but they're going to lose games they shouldn't be losing. Like this next one. Week 7, they're playing the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is the Paris game. They cannot lose this game. It's in Paris. It's French. It's going to be like a home game for them. A lot of people have them dropping the game against the Steelers in Paris. No. I got them winning that game. And then they get a bye week 8. They're back at the Dome for 2 straight home games. They got the Cleveland Browns week 9. Give me a win there. Carolina, you know what? I don't know. I know Carolina won the NFC last year with a 8-9 record. But Carolina's one of those rivalries that they split all the time. They usually win at home and they lose in Charlotte, but why do I feel it could be role reverse? I feel like if they do drop a home game, they will probably drop the first Panthers game. So I'll have them splitting with Carolina, but I think it's going to be opposite. They'll lose. They'll lose to Carolina, I think, in the first meeting. And then this is where it's going to be tough right here. Man, this is going to piss me off right here. But look at these next 3 games. They got the Chicago Bears week 11 in Chicago. The Bengals week 12 in Cincinnati. Something tells me they're going to probably drop both of these games. They claim Chicago is going to be probably one of the top teams in the NFC. And why do I feel like they're going to go to Chicago and drop to Caleb Williams? And then Cincinnati, if Joe Burrow got the protection he needed, they could be a dangerous team too. But why do I feel he's going to lose that one too? They'll probably lose 2 in a row. Green Bay, well, the fact it's in the Dome, I'll give them a win there. But if this would have been at Lambeau in the freezing ass cold, I'd have them losing. But no, they're going to play it at home. I got them beating Green Bay at home. Then they go to Carolina. I think that's another win there. Tampa Bay, Baker Mayfield got some issues. You know what? I think they're going to sweep Tampa Bay. So they might, I'm going to be crazy. They might win out. After that Bengals loss, they could potentially win out. And this is going to make me sound crazy. I have them going 12-5. 12-5 overall, and they'll win the NFC. I already have them winning the NFC South, but I didn't think I was going to have them only have 5 losses. I figured I'd probably have them maybe like 7 losses, but no. I think they could go 12-5. That'd be great, but hey, shit happens. We'll see what happens. Just like watching this Hall of Fame game's about to wrap up. Cardinals are up 30-27, and Panthers are either trying to get it in field goal range to tie it, or are they going to try and go for the win and win it all? We'll see what happens. But, yeah, that's my final prediction with the Saints. I think they'll go 12-5 overall, win the NFC South, get in the playoffs, and hopefully they at least get past the first round. I'm not saying they're going to win. They're going to win it all and go to the Super Bowl. I'm hoping they can at least get to the divisional round and get past the wild card. So that's my preview of the Saints. That'll about wrap up that as well. That one was fun. I got one more preview left, and I will do it next week. This is going to be on a team I barely know and barely talk about, and I only talk about them just so I can have something extra to talk in the 504 outside of the Saints and the Pels. But next Thursday, August 13th, my final preview for 2026 on teams I cover. I'm going to wrap it up with the Green Wave of Tulane. We'll keep it in the 504 and talk a little uptown football, they call them. So Tulane to wrap up these previews I've done. And I'll wrap up the previews for 2026, and then we're back in the saddle to do a lot more football talk. And for a bonus, be on the lookout. Thursday, August 20th, I'm bringing in Trey from the Doghouse Podcast. We're going to preview the SEC Conference. mainly just to do schedule predictions for all 16 teams, who we could see make the playoffs, be bowl eligible, be above 500. Could be a potential SEC. Who can win the SEC? And if the SEC were to win another national championship, that's what you're going to see in 2 weeks. So be on the lookout for that. But until then, that'll wrap up tonight's show. Thank y'all for tuning in. Glad to see football's back, even though the Hall of Fame games and preseason are usually boring. At least we got football, live football on our TV that's not a replay or a flashback. No, this is the real deal. And we're going to have football on our TVs every single week from August. Today's August 6th. From August 6th to February 14th of 2027. We're going to have football on our TV every single week till then. So we're officially back, baby. I'm excited. And as we're doing the countdown, oh, is he going to go for it? Who's that at quarterback? That was a nice little run. King? Is that the boy from Georgia Tech? The Georgia Tech quarterback with Carolina? Yeah, he made a big play there. All right, so we're now 7 days away before preseason's in full effect for all of the NFL teams. We are 14 days away from high school football scrimmages in the state of Louisiana. We're officially 21 days away from Jamboree week. Jamboree is going on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We're 28 days away from week 1 of high school football. Oh, and rewind back, we're also 23 days away from week 0 of college football. College football is back on our TVs August 29th. 34 days away until the very first regular season NFL game, which will be a Wednesday night, but 35 days until NFL kickoff on Thursday. 38 days away until the Saints' first game of the season. Oh, man, you know, I'm excited. I know you guys are as well. Or 38 days away until the first NFL Sunday of the regular season. All right, folks. Well, that will wrap up tonight's show. Thank y'all for tuning in. We got a crazy time left. Well, before I close out, let's see if Carolina makes this winning touchdown. The clock is, they got 10 seconds left. What they going to do? Well, King spiked the ball with 6 seconds left. Y'all know where to find me. Y'all know where to find Driving to the Top. God bless y'all. God bless America. Thank you for all the love and support. I appreciate every single one of you. Until next week. But before I go, I just want to see what happens. I want to see if Carolina wins this game or tries to tie it and go into overtime. They got 6 seconds left. Looks like they're going for it. They're going to go for it. Second and goal. They are inside the 5. He's in shotgun. Oh, won it. Nope. He tried it. Cook. Is that Brandon? No, that can't be Brandon. No, that can't be Brandon Cooks. They got a guy on the Panthers team. He's a wide receiver. His name can't be Brandon Cooks. Can't be. No, he's a free agent. No, that's not Brandon Cooks. But there's a wide receiver for the Panthers. Cooks. All right, 2 seconds left, and they're going for it. So this is do or die for Carolina. They don't make this. Cardinals win 30-27. If they score a touchdown, they win the game. Oh, he made it. Oh, game over. Panthers win with a touchdown. Haynes King. The Yellow Jacket wins it on the final play of the game. Bryce Young, you better watch out. Wow. What a way to end the Hall of Fame game that everyone shit talks. What a way to kick off the 2026 season. Even though it's preseason. Wow. And he just crossed the goal line when he fell. Oh, man. What a play. What a way to kick off 2026-27 season preseason style. Haynes King with the quarterback keeper with 2 seconds left. They win the game 33-30. What a way What a way to end preseason. And he acted like he was just going to chip it away. Oh, yeah, he crossed the goal line before his knees hit the ground. Oh, yeah, that's a touchdown. Wow. Like, that's all. I get it's preseason, but hey, this got to get you excited to see football back. Well, that will wrap up tonight. I wish there were more preseason games this weekend, but we're going to have a lot more next week. Everyone's playing next week. We got our little taste of preseason tonight, and we got to wait a whole nother week to see more of it. But till then, peace, love them out. God bless y'all. God bless football. We are so back, baby. Y'all have a good night.